Hello everybody and welcome to our first virtual mobility clinic. So I'm going to start off with a few introductions. My name is Rachel. I'm physiotherapist with the North Europe Össur Academy based here in Manchester. Behind the buttons today we have Ollie controlling the cameras and my colleague Katie answering any questions that you may have. So you can pop those into the questions and answers box for us and we'll get back to you on those as we go through the session. The session will be recorded today, so even if you don't feel able to do the full session, you can have a look back at it later on through our website. Now, over in Eindhoven, we have some more colleagues. So we have Lisan, our physiotherapist there. We have Ton to her right and Prom to her left. So we'll see throughout the session that they'll be doing very different variations of exercises. So we'll explain those as we go on. And we've also got Marcel behind the cameras over there as well. So a few of you may remember that we were due to have our first face-to-face mobility clinic last March, when unfortunately we were forced to postpone because of a little global pandemic. So we have turned it virtual for this year. We will hopefully get to be able to do face-to-face again at some point, but for now we're going to have a go with virtual. And although we were aiming this at those with lower limb loss and limb difference, in the UK, we actually have a global audience today. So welcome to everyone from India, South Africa, Brazil, Mexico, and the rest of Europe as well. Welcome. So without further ado, I will just have a little explanation of how we're going to run the session today. It is an exercise session, so I hope you're all ready to work out. We're going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up. We're then going to move into our main bout of exercise, followed by a little challenge for those of you who've got enough energy and force yourself to do a little challenge there. And we also have a cool down as well. So we need to make sure that we properly stretch off after we've worked these muscles, after what feels like an eternity being stuck in our houses. So in terms of equipment, all you need is a chair or a little bit of space around you if you are going to do the exercises stood up. There are some floor exercises a little bit later on, which again you can do in your chair if you so wish. We need either a little pillow or a ball or a balloon for some of the exercises. You need to make sure that you have a good drink of water with you as well as we go through. And you can either use a resistance band or some weights as well for a few of the exercises. Okay. So just a little medical reminder, you need to make sure that you are fit enough and able enough to continue with the exercises today. So please make sure that you have spoken to your doctor or your physiotherapist prior to participating in this. As I say, it will be recorded, so you can always look back on our UK website for this as well to do at a later time. If you get any pain or shortness of breath during the exercises, again, we can't see you doing the exercises today, so you need to be able to look after yourself with these. Take a rest if you need to, and if that pain or shortness of breath does persist, then you must go and contact your local healthcare professional as well. If you can't do an exercise, again, you can either revert back to an exercise that you've enjoyed from maybe the previous set of exercises, or you could simply just have a little rest until we move on to the next exercise. Okay. So we're going to start off with our warm-up, okay? We're going to do 30 seconds of each of these exercises. If we go live to our Eindhoven clinic, we can see the team getting ready there. So you don't need any equipment for this first one, other than maybe a chair if you're going to be using it. Okay, I'm going to start off some music, and our first exercise is going to be marching. So we can do this in standing or in sitting, but try and get those arms moving too. Okay. So there we go, let's get marching. Keep those arms moving and those knees pumping. So we've got 30 seconds on this, so keep going. So as you can see, we've got Brom on the left doing it in standing and Ton on the right. And we also have Lisan, who will demonstrate a few different variations as well as we go through a couple of the exercises. Good. Last couple of pumps now, keep going, almost there. Good, so our next one is some hand rolls. So bring those hands up and down and round in circles. That's it, so we've got to keep these hands nice and loose as well, something we perhaps don't do very often while we're sat at home. And as you can see, everyone's got their legs moving still, so keep pumping those legs. Excellent, keep going, we've got 10 seconds left on this one. Excellent, keep it going. So our next one is going to be some hip rolls. So if you're standing up, we're going to have some hip circles like Brom here on the left. And if you're sat down, just a few little pelvic tilts. So really pushing out from those hips and giving yourself a nice stretch. Good. Keep those hands on the hips. We're 15 seconds in, so we're going to reverse, go the other way. Everyone always finds it a little bit harder one way than they do the other. Excellent. Keep going. We've got 5 seconds left on that one. Okay, next exercise is hands in and out from the chest. And go. So we're moving forwards and backwards. That's it. Now, if this feels too easy, what you can do, as Bron will demonstrate, is a little bit of a march or a little bit of a side step. And you can do this sat down still as well. Excellent. We're not very synchronized, but that's okay. Keep going, guys. We've got 5 seconds left on this one. So next exercise, we're going to give the arms a bit of a rest, and we're going to step in and out with our legs. So again, you can do this in standing or sat in the chair. Just step the leg out to the side and back in, as we can see on the right there. That's it. Super. So we're just trying to keep that heart rate up and keep the blood pumping around, delivering some oxygen to our muscles. Good stuff, guys. Keep it going. So if you find it difficult stepping from side to side, you could just do a couple on the spot and then switch legs as well. 5 seconds left. Next one is arm circles. So we're going to pop those hands out to the side, and we're going to make some big circles. So start off small and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Keep going. And then we're going to rotate. So go the other way. And that's it. And then start to make them a little bit smaller as well. Keep going. Go from big to small circles. We've got 5 seconds left on that one. Keep going. Good. So next one is a rotation of the trunk. So we're going to turn from side to side and give a little punch. There we go. Make sure no one sat next to you while you're doing this. That's it. Now, if you're doing it in standing, we can throw a little bit more weight to each leg as well. So you get the heel up from each side. That's it. We can see we're really shifting that weight a little bit now, on and off the prosthesis. Good. 5 seconds left. Right, last exercise in the warm-up. We've got arms out to the side. Okay, and we're moving our arms up and down like a chicken. Get those wings flapping, guys. Good, and again, if this feels a little bit easy, we can step it out. So step from side to side. There we go, good. Coming up to the end of that warm-up now. Keep going, last 5 seconds. Keep going, almost there. And relax, well done. So that's our warm-up done now. I hope you're all feeling a little bit warmer there. I know I am. Get a quick drink on board, and I'm going to explain how we move on to the next bit of the workout. So this is our main section of the workout now. Again, we have 10 exercises, but this time it's a little bit different. Rather than doing 30 seconds for each exercise and not stopping, we're going to do 30 seconds of working out with the exercise and then 30 seconds resting. So you do get a little bit of a rest with this one, but that doesn't mean the exercises are any easier. Okay. So you can swap between the easier level and the harder level. So you'll see both the guys and also Lisan showing us variations of these. So if we start off with the first exercise, it's going to be a tricep dip. So we'll just see the guys demonstrate this for us. So for those of you who have some good upper body strength, you can see on the left that Brom is doing it off the edge of the chair. Or alternatively, we can see Ton is just pushing up from his chair using the armrests. Good. Okay. So when we're ready, we're going to start off with this one, 30 seconds, and then you can have a little rest. Ready and go. Okay. So for those of you who may not be able to do this or feel like you haven't got enough strength in your arms, what you can do is just bring your arms up in front of you. So you're getting a nice stretch from underneath your armpits. Okay. Good. So you don't have to do this one fast. It's just about getting those muscles working in the back of the arms. And you can see how this would be useful for being able to get up and out of the chair. Okay, so we've got 30 seconds rest. Okay, take in some nice big breaths. What you might need for this next one is a ball or a pillow or even a balloon, but don't squeeze the balloon too hard. We don't want it popping. So this exercise, we're going to have a balloon in front of us or a ball, and we're just going to slowly squeeze it. Okay, so it's little pulses to begin with. And then when we feel all right with that, I'm going to start to get you to move it up, down, out to the side. Okay, going back to the Eindhoven. Ready, go. So lots of little squeezes. Remember to really tighten up those tummy muscles, especially if you sat down as well. Good. There's not much to see on this one, but you should be able to feel this one working around those tummy muscles. Okay, start to move those up and down a little bit, out to the side, just little movements there. Good. Keep that squeezed as well, though. We want to feel those tummy muscles. Excellent. And have a rest. Very good. Okay, so now while we're having a little rest on that one, the next exercise is reaching up to the opposite side. So it's like you're picking for an apple. We're going to reach up and back down. So again, we can do this in standing or we can do this in sitting. Okay, so we'll head back to the guys. So you can see Lisan's just giving Ton a little target there to reach as well. Good. You can see Brom, as he's standing up, he's shifting his weight from side to side. So we're getting weight on and weight off the prosthesis. Super. So you can also do this one in standing with a little bit of support from a chair in front of you if you feel like you need it as well. So the hand that's not reaching can hold on to that chair. Good. Keep going, guys. We've got 10 seconds left on this one. You don't have to rush these, just take them nice and steady. Good. Okay. Coming up to a rest. Good, well done, guys. So the next exercise is our bicep curl. Now there's a few options for this. We can either do a nice stretch out, so you get your arms nice and fully straight. We could use our resistance band, so you're just doing one hand at a time. Okay, and then we'll swap over at 15 seconds. Or you can use a little bit of a weight as well for this one. Okay. Now, if you feel like you're not able to do this one, again, you could just do a nice open stretch there to really get into those front of the chest muscles. So let's go back to the guys. There we go. So everyone's doing a little variation there. Super. So we can see Brom has got his resistance band and he's doing a nice curl. Make sure it's straighten that elbow out all the way and bring it up as far as it'll go. Super. Well done, guys. Keep going. 10 more seconds. Good. Okay, you're going to need the ball back for your next exercise. So in 3, 2, 1, take a rest. So we need our ball back. Again, we're going to do these little squeezes, but we're going to turn it like a steering wheel. Okay, so you've got to keep that pressure on the ball and not let it fly away from you. You want to keep that pressure on nice and tight. Okay, good. So when the guys are ready, excellent. So if you have a slightly heavier ball, then you can use that as well, like a medicine ball. That's something you can look at for future exercises. Good. So your arms don't need to be too high for this. They'll probably get a little bit tired as we're going on. Make sure we're pulling in that belly button and keeping those tummy muscles nice and tight as well there. Good. Keep going. We've got 15 seconds left. If you're finding this one too much of an issue, you can just go back to doing up and down or out to the side like we did earlier. Good. Okay, keep going. Last couple. Brilliant. And have a rest. Now, if at any point you feel like these are all too easy, you can keep going through the rest period a little bit as well. Okay, so next exercise. If, like Brom, you're able to do press-ups on the floor or against the wall. So if you're doing them against the wall, we just lean on something like this and push down. If you're not doing them stood up, we can have a little sit down and we're going to practice a scapular retraction. So it's just squeezing those shoulder blades back. Okay, and that's an exercise we don't tend to do very often. So let's head back to the other guys and see how they're getting on. Good, so we've got 30 seconds now. Excellent. So you don't need to do them as fast as Brom's doing them. He is obviously well practiced with these. Good. Keep it going, guys. So we're looking at keeping that movement between the shoulder blades. Excellent. And you can see Tom's adapted his so that he's getting a good movement back with his elbows as well. He's getting a nice squeeze there, not lifting up his elbows too much. Okay, good. And take a rest. So the next exercises are going to be on the floor. So you may want to change positions. For those of you sat in the chair, there is an option to stay in the chair. But for those of you that were doing press-ups, pop down onto the floor for me. Okay. So this first exercise, for those of you on the floor, is called a McGill sit-up. So if we just pop back so we can see Brom setting up for this. He's laid down on his back, hands underneath his lower back to make sure he's staying in contact with the floor. One knee is bent up and he's going to do a little crunch so that he can feel those muscles just above his belly button, even less of a crunch. It's just a little movement without him hitting his head on the chair. Super. And back down. So then we're going to switch after 15 seconds so the other leg is bent up. Now, if you're sat in the chair, what you're going to do is cross your legs over to give you a little bit of support. We're slightly leaning back in the chair so that we're using these tummy muscles. And we're going to lift both legs up and down. And we can see Ton's just utilising the lock there. Okay, so our 30 seconds starts now. Good. So you've got two options to pick from with these. The McGill sit-up, you should really feel just above that belly button, just to the either side of the tummy muscles. Good. Excellent. Keep it going, guys. 10 more seconds. I know these are starting to get a little bit trickier now that we're having to use some of these bigger muscles. Keep it going. We're almost there. And rest. Okay. So now we're moving on to some more with these tummy muscles, really working these abs, and we've got bicycle crunches. So if we pop back to the guys there, once they've had a little rest, we can see that if we have a little look at what's happening in the chair first, we're taking one elbow, we're slouching back in the chair a little bit, so you've got some room to use these muscles, and you're taking your elbow to your opposite knee. So this may be a little bit challenging for those of you who've got some coordination issues. So while they're setting that up on the chair, we can see Brom has moved on to the next exercise. So we're taking elbow to the knee. That's it. So we can really feel those muscles working in the tummy. And again, Brom on the floor is going to be doing the same exercise, but lying down. Excellent. Keep it going, guys. We've got 10 more seconds on that one. Good. And relax there. Okay. So we're going to move on from that one for our last but one exercise in this bit of the workout. So as Brom nicely demonstrated there, we're going for heel taps for those of you who are lying on the floor, which is where you're staying on one side and you're reaching down the toes. You can also do this in standing, but seeing as we're already on the floor, we're going to do that. For those of you in the chair, if we just pop back to the other camera, we can see that Ton will also be reaching down for his foot from the chair as well. Okay, super. So we can see that Ton is setting up there. That's it. So what we're doing is working some of these oblique muscles around our tummies, which are going to help us when we're walking. They're going to keep us nice and stable around our middles. Good. Okay. And then if Brom does the same on the floor, we can see he's shifting from side to side using those tummy muscles rather than using his hips. So he's keeping his hips and bottom nice and flat on the floor there. Good. Keep going. We've got 15 seconds left on this one. Take a breath if you need to. These get a little bit sore after the other ones. Good. And relax. Okay. So we've got a little bit of a rest now, and now you get to pick your favorite exercise out of the ones we've done so far. So that could be from the warm-up or from the set that we've just done. My personal favorite is going to be the marching with swinging my arms, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I think the guys have already picked which one they want to do as well. If you can't remember any of them, don't worry, just go back to that marching one and we'll get that heart rate up again. Okay, ready and go. 30 seconds, let's push it really hard, guys. Excellent, Tom's now got something to practice hitting. Fantastic, Brom's gone back for his press-ups. Keep it going, guys, we're almost there. Last 10 seconds. Keep it going. Keep going, almost there, and relax. Well done. Okay, so while you all take a nice big drink, we're going to get set up ready for this challenge. Okay, now it's not a scary challenge, but it is an important challenge because we need to make sure that you can get up from the floor in case you have a fall. And we know that those with limb loss and limb difference are more likely to have a fall than your normal able-bodied people. So we want to make sure that you are able to get back up again. So this challenge is going to be as many as you can complete in a minute. Now, if that seems quite scary or you don't feel like you have the energy, that is fine. We have 3 different options for you. Okay, so your first option, if we just go back to the other camera, is we'll see what Ton is doing with the chair. So this is for those of you who don't feel like you're able to do it. All we're doing is practicing a sit to stand. Okay, so when he's ready, he'll show us, we're just using the armrests and going to have a stand and then sitting back down again. Good. So that's our basic option if you don't feel able to get up and down from the floor. If we then go to Brom, we can see he's actually getting up and down without using the chair. So he has a more advanced option. Okay. Good. So he's dropping his prosthetic side first and then going onto his knees and then onto his bottom. Okay. And then we also have the option with the chair as well, as Lisan will now demonstrate. So she's going to turn around using the armrests and then dropping what would be her prosthesis side down onto the floor and then onto the knee on the other side as well, and then back up again using her good side first. Okay, so if you feel like either of those are a bit of a challenge for you, just practice the sit to stand. Okay, so we have 1 minute on the clock. I'm going to cue up some music. We've just had that song. Okay, you've got 1 minute. Let's go. Good. So you don't have to really rush through these. You can take your time, but it's a nice challenge to see where you're at the minute. And if you continue to do some of these exercises, we can have a look again after 4 weeks or 6 weeks and see how far you've come with them. Good. Well done, guys. Keep going. You see Lisan there giving out lots of encouragement. Make sure you take some nice big breaths there as you keep going. So my personal target with this one for the sit to stand was 14 when I was practicing this last week. So let's see if anyone can beat that. Keep going. We've got 15 seconds left. Keep it going. We're almost there. We've got 10 seconds. Good. Almost there. Last couple now. Come on. See if you can get 2 more in. Come on. Really push it. Excellent. There we go. And have a rest. Fantastic. Well done, guys. We'll check back in later for some scores there, I think. So have a nice big breath. Get a good drink of water on. Now, the next few exercises, I'm just going to pause that. The next few exercises we're going to do are for our cool down. So we're not rushing through any of them. We're focusing on control and also the stretch of the movements as well. So we've got a little bit of a mixture of these exercises. Again, you can carry on doing them seated in your chair if you feel able, or if you would like to get down onto the floor, all the rest of the standing exercises will be done on the floor. So after the first 2 exercises, you may want to take your prosthesis off as well, if you so wish. So for the first exercise, these are all going to be 1 minute long, so you don't get a rest between them, but because they're not high tempo exercises like we've perhaps been doing before, we're taking our time with them, so you shouldn't need much of a rest, but if you do need one, then do take one. Okay. So if we go back to the guys, I think they're getting ready there. So our first exercise is the cat-cow stretch. So we'll see that Brom is going into his 4-point kneeling, so he's on his hands and his knees. Now, because his knee levels aren't quite center, what we've done is pop a little towel underneath one knee to help make his lower back level, okay? Because we don't want you being a little bit wonky and wobbling over with this, okay? So that's our seated one. So we're going to see him stretch up like a cat and then down like a cow. So you can see he's really arching the back. If he slows down a little bit, that's a little bit faster than the tempo we're looking for. So you can see we're getting a nice stretch in his mid back there. Okay, good. If we go over to the chair, we can see the version that Ton is doing for this. So he's already started, which is lovely. So we're looking to really slouch down, get a good stretch in that mid back, and then he's going to stretch back up again. And you can see that as they're both doing these movements, they're also looking down as they slouch down and then looking up as they stretch back up again. So be gentle with this one. Don't push the neck into a position it doesn't really feel comfortable going into. It's just nice and gentle. Okay, so we're going to start off our minute with this. Ready, go. Really feel the stretch in this one. It's nice and controlled, not too fast. If you need a little rest at any point in this, that is fine. We have 30 seconds left on this one. So have a gentle stretch. If it feels okay, hold that stretch for a second or two. Some nice big breaths and relax back out again. Good. That's it, just ease in gently and stretch back out. We've got 10 seconds left on this one. That's it, so it's nice and gentle. In and out. Okay, super. So take a little second there while I explain the next one. Our next one is going to be, for those of you that are on the floor, a glute bridge. So we're going to do this Pilates style. So it's quite important that we're actually tilting our pelvis and starting to slowly raise each little bit of our back as we go up. And then you're going to lower down again. So if we just see Brom doing that there, I think. So we can see he tilts his pelvis and then lifts up. Super. And then back down again. So the idea is we're controlling this. It's not about how fast you can do it. And slowly back down again. Super. And then if we go over to Ton, we can see the seated version of this. He's got himself a little ball that he's keeping tucked into his chest. You can do this with a pillow as well. We're going to roll down over that ball. So it's similar to what we've just done with the cat-cow, but we're going for little bits of our back at a time and then slowly unrolling again. Okay, so we've got a minute starting on this. Going now. So again, it's all about control, so keep it nice and slow movements with this. Not pushing anything too far, but feeling that little bit of a stretch in the lower back and in the middle back as well. Good. So we want to feel our belly button pulled in while we're doing these as well. Keep some of those muscles switched on around our core. We're going to slowly move through those movements. We've got 20 seconds left on this one. Okay. Keep going nice and slow, in and out. Okay. And that's our minute there. So take a rest. Okay. Our next exercise is going to be a leg slide. So again, staying in the same positions that you've just been in. All we're going to do with this one for the lying position is just slowly sliding our leg out. So if you stay on your back for me there, Brom. So if he lies onto his back, we're going to do a little leg slide out. We'll go to the next one. So we're going to do some thoracic rotation. So this is stretching out our mid-back. So for those of you lying on the floor, we're going to take our arms at shoulder height, take one hand and take it all the way over to really open out. Now we want to keep our hips and our legs still as we do this because we want the stretch in our back. Good. Okay. And after 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you when to switch sides. Now for the seated exercise, we're going to pop one hand onto the thigh and we're going to take the other hand out to the side. So we get a nice stretch in that mid back. So again, we keep our hips and our legs still. Take one hand over and open out. There we go. Lovely. Back to the middle and then we're going to switch sides. So you can either do a couple on each side or you can alternate between the left and the right. Okay, so our minute starts from now. So So take it nice and slow because this is a stretch. We don't want to be pushing this one, but you should feel a good stretch around the front of the chest and in the middle back as well. Keep breathing as you do this one. See if you can reach just that little bit further than you did the last time you did it. Good, that's it guys, keep going, that's 30 seconds, so you can swap onto your other side if you've just done one side. Good, so arm shoulder height and stretching out, lovely. So some of you may feel a little bit tight underneath your armpit in this one as well. It's quite a nice stretch for getting into these muscles here. Okay, keep going, we've got 10 seconds left on this one. If you need that rest, then take it. Okay. So we've got a little bit more with the shoulders coming up for this next one. Okay, that's your minute there, so take a rest. So this time we're going to have a look again at these shoulder blades. Okay, so for those of you in lying, we're going to pull these shoulder blades back and then take our arms up and give them a nice good stretch as well. So again, we're getting that stretch underneath our armpits there. Super, and you can either, if you can reach the floor, you can relax them onto the floor and just hold a stretch there for a couple of breaths, or you can just bring them in and out of the movement. And again, in sitting, we can see Ton doing the same movement there. We're trying to get him to stay up nice and tall though, but also getting a squeeze of the shoulder blades first and then a stretch up. Super. So that's your minute starting there. That's it. Remember those nice big breaths in. As they say in yoga, find the space in the movement, give yourself that nice big breath to release everything out as well. Good, see if you can reach that a little bit further each time. That's it, excellent guys, keep it going. We've got 20 seconds left on this one. See if you can hold that stretch there for 5 seconds, have a couple of breaths. Super. If you wanted to hold it there for a bit longer, but your hands don't reach the floor, you could always use a little pillow or a little stool there to help support your hands in that position if you wanted to do that again at another time. Good, that's our minute there. Have a little rest. So our final exercise is to be done in sitting this time. So you could also do it in standing, but because we're on the floor, we'll do it in sitting. So we're going to have a little reach up with one arm and then we're going to take it over the other side. So we're getting a good stretch in these muscles where we tend to get a little bit tight when we're walking. We tend to fix a little bit using these muscles. So we want to give them a good stretch out. And again, it's not very often, I think, that we usually have a good stretch up with our arms as well. So again, we're working and stretching out some of those muscles underneath and around our shoulders. So Brom's already jumped up to demonstrate this one. So he's reaching up and having a good stretch over. Now, again, if you need some upper limb support with this, you could, if you're doing it on the floor, you could have a hold on with a hand to your chair, or you can use this side to do this. So for the sitting exercise, what we can see is Ton is doing the similar exercise. He's keeping his legs still and he's taking his hands up and over and then getting a little stretch on there. Good. So that's our 1 minute starting there. Keep going. So take some nice big breaths with this. Again, just see if you can take a couple of breaths in as you breathe through it. See if you can hold it there for a couple of breaths. Good, keep it going. We've got 30 seconds left on this one. Good, that's it guys. Have a nice release with this one. Good. Excellent, last 15 seconds. See if you can hold that pose there and have a nice breath in, as big as you can, and breathe out. Lovely. Well done. Good. One more time. Lovely. Well done, guys. And that's it. That is our workout. Well done, guys. Well done at home. Well done to our team in Eindhoven. You can see that we've had a nice full body workout there, I think. It doesn't take a full hour to have an effective workout. I think we've done that in just about half an hour there with a little bit of chatting either side. I think it shows that we can really target some of those core groups and these key muscle groups, looking around our shoulders and our arms, looking around some of these tummy muscles. And these are things that are going to help us not just with walking, but also with our transfers and with any day-to-day activities you might be doing as well. I think it's very easy to be stuck down just thinking about what to do with walking, but these are the things that make a difference when you're not wearing your prosthesis as well. So we hope you've enjoyed the workout. Thank you to our team in Eindhoven. Thanks, guys. Make sure that now we're finished, you take a nice relaxed drink. Make sure you stay hydrated. If you've enjoyed the session and you want to give us a little bit of feedback, then please do send your feedback to eventsne@ossur.com. This session will have been recorded and it is going to go on the website, so you can access it at a later time. And thank you and have a great rest of your day. We'll see you again soon. Do we have any questions?
It's a question from Polly. We did just have one about, will it be available on YouTube also? I'm not sure if you
Yes, it usually goes on YouTube as well. So it'll be on the Össur Academy YouTube, and you can just search for that.
And a question from Grace. Rachel, you were going to go back to a leg slide exercise on the floor. Would you be able to maybe explain it? Or...
Yes, I can explain the leg slide exercise. So it was a slight Pilates style. So I don't know if we can perhaps have Lisan demonstrate it for us on the mats. She's still in the room. So she's going to lie down on the floor with her knees bent up when she's cleared some space. So with the leg slide, we're thinking about pulling in these tummy muscles and slowly sliding one leg out at a time, nice and out to the front. That's it. And slowly bringing it back in. Lovely. So with Pilates, we don't need to bring it quite as far in. It's just about sliding it out. It could be nice and close to the floor. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult with our above knee prostheses, but it's quite a nice one for working control around the pelvis as well. So that was our leg slide, but you can also do that in seating as well.
Great, and then just lots of thank yous as far reaching us the US, a perfect post-lunchtime workout.
Excellent.
And Stephen, not wearing my limb at the moment and not being able to have regular physio, so found this very helpful.
Oh, good. So you can see that there is a way to adapt most exercises. If you've enjoyed this, then do let us know. Hopefully we'll get to see you again, well, some of those of you more local in the UK for a face-to-face session at some point soon when we can get our mobility clinic again. Thank you all, and we'll see you soon.